All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Let's get into it. I'm Kenyatta, the ArtKitech. On this channel, we build and destroy simultaneously, for there can be no resurrection without destruction. I'm Kenyatta, but once again, you will refer to me as Miss Kenyatta, ma'am, goddess, empress, or whatever I tell you to refer to me as. High priestess. As well, I have no enemies. The enemies of God are defeated, as well as love and goodwill taken care of within eliminates that without. I will not tolerate anyone being disrespectful to me, common with me, or anyone who supports me genuinely on this platform. And I definitely will not be tolerating anyone's bully shit. All right. Good evening. And what are we on? I think the Gregorian calendar. Is that what it's called? As you know, this is quote unquote New Year's Eve. But I think we know when the new year truly begins. All right. But for those of us who are in celebration, Happy New Year in a couple of hours, few hours. Well, I'm on Eastern Standard Time. All right. So I am going to do a reading tonight from the Hoodoo Tarot deck. Thank you for the one thumbs up. Do my reading tonight from the Hoodoo Tarot deck. Make this short and sweet. It is about something specific. I talk a lot about growing up in church. And my great-grandfather was one of the founding fathers of Church of God in Christ, first church, Kojic Church in the state. He founded it here, started it here. But I went there till I was about 11 and started going to church with my grandmother. That's church I usually talk about. And then eventually I started going there. When I was doing my series with my readings, my blackout series where you just saw my hands, there was a reading I was going to do about that called the stuffing. I just hadn't gotten to it yet, and that's pretty much surrounding this. And I'll do it one day. But it was about I had a dream of the woman that raised me, and the person who was the pastor of that church, like literally stuffing me. Taking me and just stuffing me, with like you stuff a stuffed animal or something like that, a stuffed toy. And it was like, to me, I interpreted it as these people molding and making me what they wanted me to be, not necessarily, obviously not who I was, but what they wanted me to be. But I definitely want to do a reading on it. But anyway, I've had share some of my life journey with you all thus far. And I have had these dreams. Okay. Now, given my particular situation with a lot of other people, sometimes these dreams are, as one person told me, sometimes the subconscious working out these things. The situation could be pretty devastating, to come into a reality of your life when you thought it was one thing and then find out it was something totally different. Not just that it was totally different here, these people trying to bring harm upon you, Sure, I'm sure tangibly, but as well as through their, energetically, through their black magic and all that kind of thing. So I talk about, I have these dreams periodically. And there were people with that dream infiltration shit when I was doing that blackout series from that particular church, my great-grandfather's church, where I did some readings on them visiting. There were some people I didn't do at all. I don't know. Maybe they think they're off the hook, that I was not going to read them just because I hadn't yet. but not necessarily. um, but we'll see. Hold on, let me see. Okay. But okay. There's one person who has uh I have encountered in a dream realm from there at least 3 times. First time I don't remember. I just remember that he was there. Second time, what was it? The second? Oh, that was more recent. That was more recent, and I remember the dream very vividly. And I said I did came on and did a reading and a talk about, I don't remember what it was about, but I said someone's going to die, and I said I had a dream, and I'll share that later. He was there. And then this, I want to say last night, but it was like really early morning, maybe, I don't know, maybe 2, 3 in the morning, And how you wake up at these hours. A lot of times they would hit me with that dream stuff, 12 o'clock hour. Sometimes very, very early in the morning, maybe about, I don't know, 4 or 5 in the morning, something like that. But anyway, he was someone, this person, and I don't want to mention his name, that I used to, we liked each other when we were teenagers, okay? And we talked. I think he took me to my prom. I think he probably was maybe like 2 years older than I was. Very, very, very handsome. Oh my God. When I first saw him walk in that door and that church, and it was a Sunday that I was going, I had started going to church with my grandma when I was 11, but I just happened to be there that Sunday. I think sometimes my grandmother's church would end before that church, and sometimes she would drop me off. This is the early days of me going with her. If she had something to do or something I didn't want to go to or whatever, she would drop me off. So it might have been something like that. Or it might have been like right before I started going with her to church. I can't remember. But listen, because his family wasn't there when I was very small. That young man walked through that door. Oh my God. My heart, I was like, it was so incredibly attractive. He always put me in the mind of that actor. He was on, sometimes he kind of put me in the mind of the man who played Apollo on the Rocky series. I can't remember his name right now, but he kind of looked like that. And sometimes he put me in the mind of, I don't know this actor's name. He was in that movie. What was that movie with Morgan Freeman? Lean on Me. He played the gym teacher, the one who flipped over the principal's desk. Man, he was super handsome. That square jaw, very, chocolate, just dark, just like, wow. And I'm laughing because I remember, when I saw him walk through that door, it's like my heart was like, hold on, hold on. My heart just was like, I don't know, just skipped a beat, 1,000 beats. But anyway, so we got kind of close. We were kids. I might have been like 14. I don't remember. All I know is my grandmother. I wrote maybe 16. I don't remember shit. But me and my grandmother would go to Alabama all the time, and I would go with her like almost I think every year that she went when I was living. And from when I was born, I should say. Well, not of course when I was an infant, but what you get it. And I think I might have been 14 or 16. I can't remember how old I was. 14. And We were going to Alabama. My grandmother would not get on a plane, so we rode the bus. We rode the Greyhound from Cleveland, Ohio, all the way to where was it? Lynette, Alabama. I talked about him the entire way. Oh, my grandmother was so sweet to listen to me. I talked about him the whole time. Okay. And we never really went out on dates or anything like that. His parents wouldn't let him come see me because I lived in the hood. And he didn't, but he did. They did let him come over for Sunday dinner one time at my grandmother's house. But anyway, um, yeah, he took me to my prom. Very nice person. Very nice young man. The 2 times that I dreamed about him, and I can't really say, I do think it was some dream infiltration. I don't think it was anything to like what these other people have been doing, okay, with that bullshit. Okay. To hurt or harm or anything like that, coerce and all of that kind of crazy ass shit. Okay. Most of the people from the church that have done it have not done the horrendous, ridiculous, vile shit that those people have done. And the lady who raised me, her family, they have not done things like that. Okay. But they have come to be nosy or do, I don't know. But it was none of that kind of, those people are just disgusting and vile. Okay. The things that they've done. But each time that he came, the 2 times that I don't remember the first time, I can't remember, but it was I had the feeling that I had when I was younger, that closeness that I felt with him, and that like when you're young, and you that I don't want to say the butterflies in the stomach type of thing, but it was just a connection, but it was one that I experienced from youth, and it was strong. I have had some suspicions about this church. I did do a video on the church one time. I can't remember when I was doing the tarot readings with just my hands, showing my hands. I can't remember what I called it. Okay, because sometimes I'll be saying, I watch these videos that after I do it, and I'll say I did a reading and I'll post it, and I go to looking and I'm like, God, there's so many. I can't remember every single one. Where was it at? What did I call it? Yeah, I was just like, forget it. It's there somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So I don't post it. But anyway, one time my daughter, she was very young. She might have been about 3, because she was still sitting in the car seat. I went there one Sunday after the service to pick up something, and she said, "Oh, we're going to this church." And before I could say no, she said, "This is not a nice church." Out of the mouth of babes, right? Well, there is some energy there that's not nice. Some of the people were not nice. Okay? Hold on to this. I get notifications. I like to read them. Very informal here. So anyway, and confirmation. No, they weren't. I'm not saying every single person there. That's not true at all. There's some lovely people there. Lovely people. But there was some that's just, you just, a motherfucker. The Lord could do without you. But anyway, I don't know. I just have felt that church, that there was not the church itself. I just feel like there's some kind of coven or something there. And I don't feel as though this was something that was there. Now, my great-grandfather, he died in 1973. I was only 1 year old, okay? So, I was one shit, at the church. I posted a picture of him when he christened me. I was the last child that he christened. He was blind. He didn't see me, as far as my understanding goes. Okay, but I don't feel as though this was the case during his time there. I feel like this was something that started thereafter. And I did mention in one video, I can't remember if it was when I was doing these or if it was when doing my tarot reading or whatever, I don't know. But when they did a revival there and I was there, this is when I was a flight attendant. And the bishop that I talked about I think the last time I did a video, came through and he said that someone done did some witchcraft on this church, plain and simple. Okay, they don't put stuff in the corner. I mean, he just talked about it. All right. I don't remember him going into no long detail about it. He might have, but that's the part that I remember. And I was young. I was like in my 20s, and I was just thinking, well, who came in here and did that? I'm saying. But I just feel as though it was not so much because I got away, not so much from that church, but that person who raised me and what she was trying to do to me. And then when I started, I did psychic readings before, just with people I thought was family. Some of them folk, her family, and maybe one or two other people that I knew who asked questions. Well, a few privately. Then I, started doing it publicly. Got my tarot cards, YouTube. This was 2019, and it's like the floodgates started opening. And it just made me sit back and, especially lately, sit back and look like, that's what that was. Like I just remember sitting back looking at things and thinking, well, why is this like this? And what happened? And why did that turn into that? And it's just weird. It just seems like things shouldn't have gone in this direction or that direction. What the hell was going on? And so many questions. Okay, well, the flood states. That's why I just feel like I know what people say the Bible says about I don't know if the Bible says anything about tarot cards specifically, but psychic work, etc., and I just, the Bible said a lot of things. Okay. The Bible said a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? So whatever, because to me, the psychic, a person can be psychic and then go to church and hear the prophet. I'm like, in my eyes, I'm like, what's the difference? And all these people, well, that's the devil, whatever. You call yourself a prophet. I don't know where you're getting your information from. If we're going to go from that perspective. No, people have their, well, sometimes people have agendas and it's just your perspective, that, whatever. Okay, because it said a whole lot of things. And then we find a whole lot of excuses for why. Okay, because I'm not 100% sure. But didn't one of the prophets go to somebody that we would consider like a psychic in the Bible? I'm pretty sure. I have to look it up. And I hate trying to look it up on, Google it, because all that's going to come up is things from a Christian perspective. So it's like, it's not really, it's bias. And I'm looking for something that's, that's not biased. The answer. You had the answer. The true answer, motherfucker. But anyway, I feel as though there's some kind of coven there. I feel like it's still there. I don't know. I have not gone there in years. I probably would not step my foot in the building. Okay. I do feel as though I have felt like when I would look sometimes at like the lady who raised me, like her family. I would look, I would, and I've said it to a couple people that I thought were my cousins, and they agreed. They agreed with me, like at least two or three of them. And I said, it just seemed like they did not want the girls to do well. I can't really say about the boys, but definitely the girls. But then I look back on, I said, it might have been all of them. Okay, I should say all of us. But I'm not a part of that collective any longer. No matter who wants me to be or who's trying to energetically make me be, I'm not. Okay? I would not give a damn if the lady who birthed me, I wouldn't give a damn if, uh, you know, I wasn't a part of hers, like physically, in the terms of come on over to the house for holiday, you know, and all that, or whatever. Okay. I'm not a part of that one. Okay. The lady who raised me, nor her family. And I say that I'm not a part of it. Thank God, blood-wise, I'm not. Okay. So it really don't make me no difference what y'all try to do or what y'all try to say. What you try to do energetically, what you try to force. Thank God I found out the truth. And it is what it is. And that's what it's gonna be. Like my dad say, that's what it be. Okay. I don't have to be in someone's tribal unit. That's what a friend of mine from way back used to say to me. Tribal. I don't have to be part of your tribal unit. And it's just kind of like, I really thought when I found out this truth and I put it out there, the motherfuckers would have left me alone. But, you know, when you have other shit at stake, because you done tried to put people up on your sacrificial altars and want to try to steal their inheritances and all of that kind of shit. You know? Motherfucker, they ain't gonna leave you alone, okay? But anyway, so I'm trying to remember where I was, but nevertheless, I was talking to a lady that I used to work with, and we were talking about that. And she's older; she's in the what they call baby boomers generation, and she said no. It wasn't just them. She said, that's my generation. I mean, she just flat out said, I said, well, what do you mean? She said, a lot of people my generation do that. I said, well, you know, why? It's like this suppressing, to suppress and oppress their children. What the fuck is that all about? What the fuck is that all about? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like that's weird to me. And she said it's just they don't want them to do better than them. About the time this lady got done talking, I was like, that's exactly what I saw in them. You know, what is that? You know? Now, mind you, at the time when I would see it, not when I was talking to this lady, but when I saw this going on, it wasn't, I didn't know nothing about none of this shit. Okay, I'm just observing. Because I damn sure knew what the lady who raised me was trying to do to me by that point. By that point, I think I had just fucking admitted it. You know what I'm saying? I might have known before, but I was just admitting it at that point. Okay, like, okay, I see. She don't want me to have no money, no love, she want me to have nothing. Trying to keep me trapped up and caged up in this house like it's a fucking prison cell. What the fuck is this shit all about? You know? And then I looked around and I was like, that one got it, and that one. It's like, wait a minute, maybe this is a family thing or something. But you ain't gonna do it to my motherfucking ass, you know. But this is before I knew anything. And then, you know, she said that to me, and so I began to with all of this going on, this is not new. I've been thinking about this for a long time, but I wasn't sure. And at first, when I would have this dream infiltration from some of these members here, I thought, okay, they're just trying to help her, whatever. They think she's so sweet. They think she's so wonderful. They think she's so, okay. That, at least that's what I think they thought. I really don't know what those people thought. You think that's what people think, but then see, people, you don't have these conversations with folks. You don't know what they know or how they really view a person. Because something was said to me one time by an outside person about what them people got to say about your quote unquote mother at that church, huh? I was just like dumbfounded because I thought everybody looked at her like she was just so sweet and wonderful and kind, but I didn't ask about it. Because I was thinking, oh, them people just mean, many years later when I did ask, they claimed they didn't remember. I don't remember saying that. Okay, whatever. Moving on. But it's like, how they say, people be throwing this black magic on you and all of that kind of stuff, and astral projecting, coming in your dreams and all that. They just, they're throwing their energy at you, and then all of this stuff comes to you, They're basically telling you who and what they are. So, I'm like, I don't know what it was. And someone from there might be watching my videos. Okay, probably quite a few folk. Like it was some kind of coven there. Because I looked at some things. It's like one person I know in particular. And I'm like, his family did the same exact thing to him that she was trying to do to me, if not worse. When you see people who, and it is not just one person. When you see people who are extremely talented, extremely gifted, highly intelligent, could have gone. Now I'm in my 50s, so I'm talking about people that are like my age or older. Could have gone very, very quote unquote far, what we call, that in our Western society in life, but just like it fell flat. Like it just fell flat, fell to nothing. It's like, what is that? What happened? And then this, them having you, the parents I'm talking about, having you be codependent on them. Like, and you're still that way in your fucking 50s, And we're not talking about one or two, or like one person. We're talking about, you see that shit enough where then, the light bulb goes off. Like, personally for myself, when I realized that was my situation, and, I just got to the point like, hell no. Yeah. I wasn't created for this type of shit. And not to be nobody's damn rough little meow pet. Okay. No. Okay. You can keep your codependent shit. Okay. Because reality is, while it's made to look like you're codependent on them, the reality is they're codependent on you and your energy. So I'm just like, well, what the fuck is this all about? You understand what I'm saying? Well, what is this all about? Why? Now, when I was there, it was kind of like I was one of the, I guess you could call one of the black sheep, I wasn't really treated too kindly by my peers. Now, I'm not going to say every single one of them. Okay. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing I left that motherfucker when I was at that teenage, when I was like 11, preteen. It wouldn't have been healthy for me to be there as a teenager. mistreated by them bitches. And I used to look at them and be like, hey, y'all just to this day, if there was an event and I walked in the room, they'd all gather in the corner. There she is, there she is. It's like, you bitches are fucking tired as fuck. You're old as fuck. We're old than a motherfucker. What is all of this shit? Where does shit come from? I remember being very small. And I think I talked about this, being, don't talk to her. One day I told her, don't talk to her. I mean, like, when we're like 5 years old, and the girl actually put them in their place, like, they don't tell me who to talk to, But that's the type of treatment I would get, like the black sheep, I guess you would call it, or whatever, And I just thought that was just so fucking country and backwards than a motherfucker. I mean, going to church with my grandmother, it was like a fucking lifesaver for me. Okay, because those of you who know, when you grow up in church, that shit is like home number 2. Okay, I'm not talking about you just go on Sunday. I'm talking about you're in that motherfucker. Okay, you in it on the damn time. Everybody know everybody. And I went to one, well, that church was a small one. Everybody know everybody, and they're all into Mary and all of that kind of shit. It's not a big place, and so it's like home number 2, home, goddamn. Okay, got to go to church for this, got to go to church for that, got to just be in that motherfucker all the time. When I went with my grandmother, it was a very different experience for me. I didn't have any of that. Thank God. It was like I was welcomed, not ostracized. I didn't know why, and it would bother me that this lady who was supposed to be my mother never really, I felt like she never stood up for me, because she seen me cry plenty of tears, when they would do the evil shit that they would do, And now for a while, I didn't really say anything to her about it, but it's like, do I have to? I know you see, but one time, and we were adults. Oh, I cried so hard. Like, what did I do? What did I do to these people? Well, I was talking to my aunts about it on my dad's side, because the church was through my father's side. And they was like, oh, they did us the same way. And I was like, well, why? And he's like, because we were the bishop's grandkids. He was my great grandfather. He was like, we were bishop's grandkids. And I said, oh, okay, maybe that's what that is. But one girl who had come there like preteen age, she had a big family. We kind of befriended each other for a hot second. And she said their parents told them to do that. And I was thinking, you think so? Why would, I guess in some people's eyes, people may think that I'm naive or something like that, or green. No, it's not that I'm naive and green. And she said, I just don't understand that kind of evil type bullshit. People have thought that I was naive and green because I'm not out there on the street hoeing, or clubbing, or, drinking myself into oblivion and, smoking their drugs 24/7. You know what I'm saying? Or at all, So people tend to think when a person's like that you're soft and stupid and naive, and that they can do you any old kind of way. Oh, they're weak. It's so amazing to me how, like, sometimes I listen to, readers, and they talk about these people gang stalking and going after people they thought was weak. Well, like, if you think they're weak, why the fuck would you bother them? If you're so tough, you all that and you're tough. But this will be easy. There ain't nobody. But there must be somebody for you to attack them. They got to be. Because if they're a fucking weak ass nobody, then why would you even... If there's nothing there, then why are you wasting your time? What's that all about? Okay. And why would you go after... So if you're going to get a gang of folks, seem like you would go after somebody who really, at least from the way you talk and the way you're speaking, at least somebody who seems to pose a challenge to your motherfucking ass. Okay. But they don't seem to pose a challenge to your ass. So, according to you, they're weak, they're nobody, they ain't nothing. So they ain't worth a goddamn, they ain't shit. So then why the fuck are you well then what are you gonna get out of it? Oh, the joy of kicking a nobody weakling's ass with a group of people? Sounds like you're the weak motherfucker. Sounds like you're scared and intimidated of that by that person. Okay? But any goddamn way. So it's not a matter of I'm naive and easy and stupid and, because I don't do these things. Never have. Okay? I ain't saying I ain't been out there and done some things and had me some fun times. Okay? But that's not my lifestyle. No, I'm not, doing no smoking with you. Okay? Drinking your drink with you. I mean, I have drunk alcohol, don't get me wrong. I've had sometimes I get tipsy, I like it, feel good and all that kind of stuff, sure. That's not a lifestyle for me. Okay. And what I mean by that is every time I see your motherfucking ass, I don't give a goddamn if it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon, you fucked up with a cup in your motherfucking hand. On the stoop, what they used to call the stoop. Or the steps on your fucking porch. But my thing is, do what the fuck you want to do. I don't care. Or laying down, opening my legs every time Dick and Harry that comes along. Okay. Now. Okay. But anyway, now, I know Mustapus probably watching. And like I told your monkey ass before, bitch, you can keep your black magic witchcraft, bitch. Okay? Keep your shit. Don't you have a baby to take care of, bitch? A fucking diaper to fucking change? A human to fucking nurture and act like you give a damn about it. So any goddamn way, because bitch, this ain't about your motherfucking ass. And I know you think everything is with your narcissistic ass. Okay. But I ain't no doctor. But since we can just throw the word around nowadays, like it ain't no real fucking diagnosis, I'm throwing it around on your motherfucking ass, bitch. So any goddamn way. Back to what the fuck I was talking about. So she said that to me. Now the bitch gone. So she said that to me. And I thought, that was, why would adults do that? Okay. But so there have been some things to occur there with some of the young people. Well, we ain't young no more. Okay. And I ain't talking about, I don't know anybody's deep business, just observation. I do remember in my teenage years, one of these people would come in my dreams. Now, I didn't know what it was. I thought it was just a dream, of course. And I always would end up kicking her ass in a dream because I couldn't stand her. I could not fucking stand this girl. Okay. She ain't like me, and I damn sure ain't like her. Okay, that's just how it is. Some people, you just don't like their motherfucking ass, okay? Very condescending. Somebody told her she had brains. Until she went to college and saw, nah, you don't. Okay, but anyway, and did what everybody else did. Well, there's nothing wrong with that either, okay? But any motherfucking way. And I remember I would get up from them dreams. I'd be like, that was so weird. Why I had that dream like that? Well, I didn't know it was dream infiltration. Okay. We were teenagers. Then there was another one. I think she was spearheaded the bully brigade. And I had a brief encounter with one of her family members, and that bitch kept coming. Her and one of her people, okay, and that bitch who would come to my dreams all the time. And every blue moon, and this is when I was learning about all of this dream infiltration, all this type of shit. And it's like, bitch, I don't want that motherfucker. I really did. But when the shit just happened, the way things turned out, I was like, nah, I don't want this motherfucker. Okay. Stay up out of my fucking dreams, bitch. But then she wouldn't. She still would come every blue moon until I did a reading on a motherfucking ass. Okay. All right, and all the business was spilled out into the street. Leave me alone. Okay. But see, I feel as though it's like, well, I don't think that all of these people, and when I say that, I don't mean everybody in the church. I mean these offspring, okay, my peers were, and I mean age-wise, okay, are in this coven. Okay. Some probably, like me, the black sheep ones. We wasn't good enough to be in it. But thank you. I'm sure that myself and any others are very thankful that we wasn't thrown into that shit. Okay. And I am hearing you dirty, low down motherfuckers. You turn that church into just, because I remember like I said, I have a lot of things on audio cassette because I was trying to get the history of the church. It was the first culture church in the States, my great grandfather's church. I wanted to get the history on it. I don't know if I had planned to write something or put something together. I don't remember what my plans were, but I got a lot of stuff on, cassette, interviewing people and whatnot. I still got that shit. I was in my 20s. I still have all of it. And the history of it, at least when he was the pastor, was like they did all of these wonderful things when he was a pastor, and then what happened? It just like it was this full, beautiful place that just flatlined to just nothing. Like nothing. Like defunct. I mean, it's still in operation, but it's just like it could have been this, off of what was there when he was a pastor, it could have blossomed and bloomed into something great and magnificent, okay, for a church, okay, but it did. And I couldn't understand why come the man who pastored the church after he did, who I have on audio cassette interviewing him, why didn't he do something with all of that and make it even better? Because he had the charisma, the charm, the what do you call it? The intellect. I'm sure he had he knew a lot of people, important people, that it could have been. And it hit me. Sometimes people they don't want that to happen. They don't want things to bloom and blossom, just like these people with like the lady was telling me this. And we're not saying every single person out of generation, baby boomer generation, okay? So don't nobody get up in fucking arms. Sometimes you can. I hear people talk about Generation X. Sometimes I get a little certain way. Wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? We all do, okay? But we're not saying every single person, but like she said, just like those people who didn't want their children to blossom and be better than them. So they would do things to oppress them and suppress them, okay, and keep them from growing so that they can control them and they be codependent on them. It's some real sick shit. Okay, all these people, you want our children to be better than we was. No, you don't. Some people do, but I'm talking about a crowd of people who say that shit. But no, you don't. Nah, no, you don't. You have your favorites. You tried to put those motherfuckers on a pedestal. That fell flat to nothing. Okay, and the rest of us, okay, who wasn't good enough or whatever, okay, you just try to suck them dry with your energy harvesting and whatnot, and keeping them diminished so that they would not bloom and blossom, so you could keep feeding off of them, so that you could keep your little money and your trinkets. Because what the fuck? I'm like, what did you get out of it? What were they looking for? What, money? I guess a job don't ain't enough for that. Church approval. Now, I grew up in church, okay, and I went to Mason Seminary at the Interdenominational Theological Center. Like I said, there were six different denominations under one umbrella. Mason Seminary was one. So my last year, I think it was the last semester, we got to sit before the board, write something out about what we felt about women's preachers, and women preaching and being ordained or whatever. More than likely, I don't remember what the fuck I said. I mean, I typed the shit out, wrote up a whole little paper on. I don't remember what I said, but I think I was probably more traditional at that time, okay, with what the church wanted. But I wasn't that backwards, okay? And I've been that backwards, even in being traditional. So I might have supported both arguments. Well, I don't know. One of the sisters from back then who probably could tell me who was sitting in the room. No, they didn't know you wasn't, Nikki. You said, I don't remember. Okay, I just knew that I was very traditional at that time. Okay, according to the church's beliefs. Okay, and the board was like some of the bishops and other people. So I was invited to interview to work at the publishing house and in the headquarters. Okay, in Memphis, Tennessee. So I interviewed for that shit. Okay, and I got the position. It was, what's the word?
Is that sponge on the sink they use?
Yeah, we don't use it. I might have, yeah. Okay. Okay. But anyway, so it was just, I can't think of the word, but it was just, it didn't work out. Okay, it was bullshit. Okay, I was thrown in the middle of something that I didn't know I was being thrown. They politics and shit that I didn't know I was being thrown in the middle of. But I did get the position. I went there and it was bullshit, and I got the fuck up out of there. Okay, that's a long story. Maybe I'll go into it one day. I wish I could right now, but I have to use the restroom. Okay, and so I'm trying to do this as quick as possible. But so I did not, I was believed what they were. No, I didn't believe everybody there was perfect at all. Okay, or in terms of when y'all know what I say about perfection. Okay, but we just gonna go with the layman's version right now. Okay, but I didn't, and I knew there was corruption. Okay, but I probably thought it was so. At least I didn't think it was anything that would touch me. Okay, and I didn't know the depth of it. I didn't know, these people, all I knew was this church, my great grandfather, his role, and, I believed in what they taught and all of that kind of thing. and I was very much in it, steeped in it. Um, but I didn't, the whole, I didn't find out till later. I was dating this guy when I was studying with the Hebrews, and he came into the lady who raised me. He came to her house one time. I was there, and she had a picture of Bishop Mason. She didn't have it up. I don't even know how she got the picture. It was like it was a drawn picture. And he looked at it. He said, "Oh, that's Bishop C.H. Mason." And I was like, "Yeah, how do you know him?" He said, "Oh, he was a Mason." Because the guy I was dating, he was a Mason. And I was like, "Well, no, he wasn't." He was like, "Yes, he was." And I was like, "How do you know?" He was like, "I'm a Mason." He said, "I know Masons." He said, "If he was a bishop, he had to be a Mason." And I was like, "What? That's not true." And he said, "Yes, it is." He said, "If you're a bishop, you gotta be a Mason. If you're gonna be a bishop, you have to be a Mason." And I was just like, I'm thinking, "Oh, that's white people stuff," back then. He was like, "They ain't got nothing to do with it." And I started saying, "Well, my pastor was a bishop." He was like, "Well, he was a Mason." And again, I was like in my 20s. I had left the church, but it was just so much I did not know. Now, when I was younger, I used to read about there was this book called Illuminati 666. I bought it from the Christian bookstore. I think I probably was about 14 when I read that book. Okay. And I can't remember who wrote that book, okay, or what organization, but they had two of them I read. So I had been hearing about this Illuminati since I was 14. But, at the time we didn't have internet, of course, and it wasn't like, on a world wide web type of thing, where here it is just all up in front of everybody's face at the press of a button. And then when I went to Howard, I remember one of the, was it Stokely Carmichael? I can't remember. He spoke about it one time, and he said, if it's mentioned in the room, they'll walk out. And he mentioned it. He said, "Let's see who walks out." Okay. But anyway, and I was like, well, I'm thinking, well, my great grandfather was a bishop, and he was like, well, he was a Mason. Yeah, that's how it works. So the man who was the pastor, um, after my great grandfather, the lady who raised me was his personal secretary. So I would go there all the time. I talked about how I would go there and do some work, this, that, and the other. And he was cleaning out some stuff, and he had these two huge Bibles. And he asked me if I wanted one of them. And I said, "Yeah, I don't have it now. Okay, I don't know what I did with it. I just don't have it anymore." And he said, that it was that they were both I don't know about that black one. I took the black one. It was a black one, it was a white one. But one of them, if not both of them, were Masonic Bibles, he told me. And I said, "Well, where did you get that from?" He showed me the Masonic Bible. It was a white one. The black one I had, I think he said was one too, but it didn't have it wasn't as detailed as that white one from what I remember. This was so long ago. I was, you know, early 20s. And but he showed me, the whole checkerboard, the whole setup. He showed it to me. And I said, "Well, where did you get it from?" And I don't remember, some story he told me. And I believed him. And when I told this guy who I'm telling you about, who I was dating when I was with the Hebrews, he was like, "That's not true." he said, "That's not true what he told you." I said, "But that's what he told me." He said, "That ain't where he got that Bible from." Because he made out like he just found it somewhere, or somebody just sold it to him or something. He said, "Baby, that's not how that worked." He said, "Them was his Bibles." And I said, "Boy, he wasn't supposed to give them to me, was he?" And I don't remember what he said. He said, "But did he?" He said, "Well, I said, one he did, the black one." I said, "But the white one, I liked the white one." And since he had him out, but I asked, I said, "Well, can I have the white?" He was like, "No, you can't have that one." Okay. So maybe the black one wasn't, I don't remember, but I don't have that Bible. And I did take that black one But I have moved around so much. I've moved. I've lived in a lot of. Well, I've been back in Cleveland for the last shit. I think since I was 29 or something like that. I've been here since, except that one little stint I just did when I went to New York. But I've been here all these years. So, but this was before then. I had moved. I lived in quite a few different places, and if it was just too big and bulky, sometimes the way I would just up and move, I wouldn't keep stuff. You know, I don't know what happened to it, but anyway, and one of the young men who he was his related to him, I was talking to. And he said, "Oh yeah, he was." He said, "Your great grandfather was. He the one who got him into it, and all this and other." He said, "Don't you remember when the funeral he had the horse and carriage?" I said, "No, I didn't stay. Me and my sibling, we went for like a quick second and we left. We didn't stay for all the pomps and circumstance afterwards." I said, "But even if I had seen it, it wouldn't have meant anything to me because I didn't know what it. I wouldn't have made any kind of connections or anything to it." Okay, but anyway, back to what I'm saying. This so I'm like, well, okay, that's what I was getting to. So when I worked at the publishing house, it was some bullshit, right? So I was like, I got to, in so many words, in a nice way, I got to get the fuck up out of here because this is just shit. This is not what I thought it was going to be. And I remember the man who was over it. He said to me, and one of the secretaries, he said, "Oh, you all, if you do this, this is going to make you big. You're going to be big in the church. Your name is going to be known in the church." I was never like, I wasn't into it for that. I truly believed in the faith. You understand what I'm saying? So I was just looking at him like, what? Because that wasn't it. So what? I'm not here for that, And eventually I left. It's like, this is some bullshit. I'm not staying here for this, It's a lot. It was a lot of corruption. Thank God I was never touched by any of it. Thank God I really didn't come to find out any specifics of what was going on. I just knew that you weren't gonna have my name in the shit, And because somebody told me later that was some kind of political move they were trying to make. That's why they hired you. I was like, but I don't even know anything about any of it. And it's like, no, you didn't, and you weren't supposed to. Okay, but whatever. These groups and these organizations and all of this shit is just like, I guess that's just the way of the world. It's like, no, where can you go besides sitting in your house? And even then with families and shit, it's this this politics and all of this hierarchical shit and all of this kind of weird shit. Because my thing, I'm like, well, what this little coven here, I don't know how big, small, or whatever it is. I'm like, what were you all trying to get out of it? And I'm like, it's church. And it's like, yeah, but no matter how big, no matter how small, these are the things that people are moved by. These are the things that are important, to people, even if it's going from sitting in the pew to you having to do something to get your missionary license or becoming the church mother or the deacon or the elder, and there's some corrupt shit behind that. It's just people want these titles. People want to be seen. You know what I'm saying? And they'll do, whatever to get the shit. I'd use bathroom. I hope it don't look a mess back there. If you want to wait, if you're watching, cool. I'll be right back. Yes. Huh? Okay. All right. Like I said, hopefully you're still there, who's ever. But anyway, I'm drinking all this water and stuff, okay? But nevertheless, you know, and for a little money, clothes, it's just like it's all intertwined, it's like which I wouldn't have thought that back then, you know. But it's all the same shit. It's all intertwined here. And it's kind of pitiful and it's kind of sad, and it's like, so what the fuck were you motherfuckers doing? It will, now some people in my peer group they transition, they died, in our early adult years. I can't say that this has anything to do with it, but I can't say it don't neither. I remember when I was very young, and a lady who raised me, it was a church meeting, some kind of meeting of some of the women at one of the houses. I had to be about maybe like 4 years old. So we go, and the girls, they were older than me, but they were in the back. So they told me to go on back there with them, and I did. And they had a Ouija board, and they took it out, and they were playing with it, and I just sat and watched, because I was a little girl. And but when I got a little older, I was like, what was the Ouija board doing at the church mother house? You didn't know that, and not saying she was a bad, mother, or because she didn't know. She might have knew they had it. See, this is what I'm saying. Okay. Who the fuck are you people? Okay. Now I'm going to say this. For those that will watch, you can be whoever the hell you want to be. I don't care. I truly do not. This ain't no sound alarm brigade. Okay. And y'all got to stop. Y'all ain't right. No. But see, whatever y'all was doing to your fucking offspring to fuck them up so that you can have your little trinkets and your church approval and become, the mother of this or that, or the driver for whatever the fuck, or the elder and the next pastor and the next first lady of this church and all of that kind of shit. Let me say this. You can leave me the fuck alone. Okay. I knew when I had left, when I stopped going to church with my grandma, I'm in my 20s at this point. She was very upset. And I couldn't figure out how come when I came back, I just didn't have the same, I had an aversion to the church, where before I was in love with it. And I started going into that dry ass place. Dry than a motherfucker. With motherfuckers who couldn't stand me. Sitting in the choir stand talking about me and everything. And one time one girl came to me New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's. I just looked at her. Saved and out, the fuck you speaking to me for? All happy, and when you talk about me in my face. Can I talk to you? Sure can. When that conversation was over, she was crying like a motherfucker. And I apologized to her ass later on. But bitch, I don't know what do you want to talk to me for? How nasty you are to me and mean as you are. Oh, you went and asked the Lord to forgive you real quick and now because you felt bad for a second and I'm just supposed to say, we're all saved and love the Lord. No. Sorry you cried, not sorry for what I said. And really, you weren't crying because of nothing I said. Well, yeah, because I was telling you the truth. Now, I don't think that every single person is something going on at that motherfucker. And I don't think that every single person there was a part of that. But see, the more the light keeps shining and shit, and I'm coming out of my little slumber. Thank God, got away from you. The more I see, then people ain't just coming over here for no reason. Now, y'all old as hell as sin right now. Okay. But I guess when you do that shit and or maybe you owe some demon or something like that, or you just got to do what you got to do to fucking get your little trinkets. Okay. Or you bought some shit too soon that you got to pay for. Or you feel you got to win, or whatever the fuck. I know probably all type of shit went on there. Okay. Like I said, thank God I got away when I did. And thank God that I have a mouth to tell people, leave me the fuck alone. Leave me alone. Stay away from me. No, I don't like you. That ain't right. I mean, I had one man, they tell me I was going to hell. Because I wasn't going to let him talk to me any old kind of way. Okay. Long as you ain't there. Fine. Okay. Yeah. But I'm just saying, so I don't know. We'll see what the reading it comes up as, what it's about or whatever. I mean, I think it's obvious, when you look at Bishop Mason. I'm not saying nothing about this man. I have no fucking clue. But I mean, I think it's obvious that, he was a root doctor. Was that a root worker? I mean, so it was part of the culture, part of the tradition. Okay. You don't see that picture of him with no cross in his hand. He holding roots. But I don't know who do like that. I don't study it. I don't practice it. And on purpose, I had found when I would look into some things, I was like, oh, I do that. I didn't know that, some things is just in us, part of our culture. Okay. But, see, this ain't just about her and her lady who raised me and her weird ass family. Okay. And the evils they do. Cause see, that shit they brought over to me with some vile shit. Disgusting. Okay. At least when the church folk come, they don't do that. Okay. But the young man that I was talking about, it's just like, how you go from that? I used to wonder, how did you go from that, like that, to like that? And I used to sit there and in my 30s be like, this is not my life. What the fuck what happened? What didn't I do? What did I do wrong? You understand what I'm saying? I know when I started doing my readings publicly, I bought one of those, what you call it? The thing that you put on your car door, decal. I think that's what it is, the magnet. Advertise. Well, I went one day to pick up a lady that raised me to go take us to the store. And I wanted to take down because I didn't want to hear it. Because, she grew up in the church. I mean, because I'm thinking she's a Christian woman or whatever. And it was still on there. I was like, well, whatever, I'm grown, whatever. And she looked at it. And I do kind of remember the look on her face was like, and I thought it was maybe because, she Christian or whatever. Bitch, because you about to find out some shit. And I did. When I started doing my readings publicly, not right away. Not right away. But eventually the floodgates started open. I mean, but I had already had questions about a lot of things, that I would see, that I was observing in my own life and the lives of others around me, but I remember, oh, well, I'll save that part for another day. Um, but I met this girl when I lived in Memphis, this black girl, and she was very much into tarot and all this. Now, I was in the church, but I was leaving at that point. And we hung out a lot together. And I was telling her she was telling me why she was there. She wasn't from there. I was telling her why I was there and everything. And it was so funny because I was walking in the park, and she was sitting on a bench. And when I looked over at her, we both looked up at each other at the same time. And it was like an instant, like, I know you. You know what I'm saying? And we just hit it off from there. We just hung out, like almost practically every day. And she was doing some shit, but I'll say that for another time. But anyway, she said, I want to see this temple, this Mason temple. And I was like, okay. So we drove by there. She was like, sister. She's like, you don't feel that heavy energy. I was like, well, it is a little something there, She was like, it just doesn't feel right to me. It's just like, she says, a lot of secrets in that building, And I mean, I get it now. I didn't then, I mean, I was just leaving the church, and my life in Memphis was very interesting. It's a very spiritual place, and almost every encounter I had with people was on that level in some way, shape, or form. That's another story to tell. It was very different there, very different. The energy there was just different. That's the best way I could describe it. And I think that a lot of things were starting to come to me because I was leaving that environment, leaving the church environment, leaving the church period. So I had people, just this one guy gave me this book. It was a big book. It was maybe it was the Book of Secrets, I think, or something like that. And I looked at it for a while, and I went to return it to him, and they was like, "He don't work here no more." And I only had it like for a couple of days, and I was like, "But this is his book," And it was like, "He don't work here no more. He just left." I would have encounters like that. Um, just people just telling me things, these secretive things, and people that I didn't know. People I would just, you know, and I'm open to people. I talk to people. I meet a lot of people, just period, and I just would have people just sharing these kind of like spiritual things with me, these secretive things with me, and then it was like they would just be gone, like just disappear. It happened a lot when I was there. But anyway, I don't, I don't, I don't know. It's just uncomfortable talking about this because it's like, you know, obviously that's there at this church. I'm not going to say the whole church is that. I don't believe that, but I damn sure believe that it's a coven there, I'm hearing witches and warlocks, and I'm hearing your plan to take things down, or to take people down who were there, innocents. I'm hearing those who were innocent. I'm hearing something about charge, no charge. Something like no charge to you. I don't know. You were charged with something else to lift the rights or something like that. Like from the wrongs or of the wrongs or something. Okay, not to destroy and diminish others. The littles, I'm hearing, the little ones. This is what you've done. Diminished and destroyed the young people, those who were there to, like set the record straight, or set some about the tides, okay, set things on fire, okay, to uplift, restore, even, I'm hearing, okay, bring restoration to those around them. Like that church is in the heart of the hood. you know. And what it's in the middle of a street where there are houses, you know. It's like, what wonder could have been done on that street? Mm-mm. Pathetic. The people are pathetic. This is what I'm hearing, and this is what I'm saying. Those, I feel like you all set on pedestals for whatever fucking reason. Okay. To destroy, I'm hearing hurt and harm others. Okay. Manipulate, destroy, destruction to those others that were like them, their peers. Okay. Like me being one. Okay. And others. There were others. Okay. I'm hearing you didn't care. You didn't give a fuck. Okay. And ain't no way in hell you gonna tell me this shit ain't motherfucking true, because if it wasn't, then ain't no way in hell I would be seeing some of y'all in my fucking I ain't gonna say my fucking dreams with your goddamn dream infiltration. Okay. The one bitch stopped, two of the bitches stopped that y'all put on fucking pedestals when I did them readings on their ass and all their shit came out. Okay. Well, I'm just shuffling these cards like a motherfucker. Let me see. And that's why people talk about some tarot that's evil. No. What you're doing is evil. You don't want the truth to come out. Because you're going to find the truth in it with this and the psychics and all of that shit. Okay. You're going to hide it behind, he's a prophet and all of that, and all the spiritual gifts and all of that other stuff y'all be saying. It's the same gifts. From the same source. So stop. But you, Miss Ma'am, you can go on about your business. You stole whatever was left for me. Okay. You probably was told to give it back. Spent the shit. Who knows what atrocities and evil things you have said about me to people. I'm talking about the woman who raised me, puss, not your motherfucking ass. She do hers behind closed doors. You just dumb and do it all out in public. And bitch, I don't even know you. Okay. To make yourself look, I don't know, great, queenly. I don't know what the hell. I think it's just strange and weird. I would never do my daughter like that. I would never do my children like that. But again, I wasn't your children. But to those of you who did, that boy ain't go from as gorgeous and beautiful as he was, and he just looked a stature, young man with stature, and it's just fizzled out. Stop. Please. One more shot. Oh, shit. Cards flew out. One more shuffle. Let's get into it. Two of Knives. Upright. Now, I don't know what this reading is going to be about. It might be about what I'm talking about. It might not. Courting. Upright. Father Sims. Upright. Eight of Sticks. Upright. Three of Knives. Upright. And I don't think, I tried to do a reading before about my father's family to see what the possibilities, if they were involved in any of that craziness. I don't think all of them are innocent. I think most of them. I don't know. I'll just leave it like that. I think most of them went on about their business, live their own fucking life. I don't know. It's just a sick fucking world we live in. It's disgusting. And you do these types of things for your trinkets and your toys to wear your big fucking ugly ass, uh, fancy ass hats and whatever the fuck else. Work with the bishop and be his drive or whatever. I don't know. Whatever y'all hierarchical shit is in your underground bullshit. Okay. To harvest and siphon off the innocents, the littles, so you can have your shit. And I do think that this was something that started after uh, my great grandfather's death with the new regime. Because I just couldn't understand after reading the history and getting the history. I'm like, I don't understand how this church went from all of this to like almost like nothing. The fuck happened here? Something happened here. Something that just didn't just happen. All right, so hold on for a second. I mean, my God. You know, you don't know what's around you, who's around you. You don't know shit. You know, right. You living right there with their asses. Okay. Going to the church. Where they make you fucking go when you're a kid. Forced you to go, and here they are doing that shit to you. Siphoning off of you. No wonder, no wonder by the time the sermon started and the man preaching, I used to get so fucking sleepy. I'm sure I'm not the only person. And I thought it was just because it was a high time, energy being used up. Now we're just sitting here. No, because when I went to church with my grandmother, I didn't have that issue at all. And I was a teenager. Never did. But sitting there just gets so fucking drained, literally. Meaning positive, a truth, making a firm decision, renew action, lies being exposed. Saying what you mean, meaning what you say. Being in touch with how you really feel, facing the consequences of past choices, patiently waiting to see if things work out, anxiety subsisting, the time to move on, and the crossroads. Okay. So I feel like, lies are being exposed here, that this was some sanctified, safe place. Well, I mean, we see this shit all the time, I used to love to watch them shows like 2020 when I was a kid where they would talk about this type of shit. These churches having these satanic cults and covens and all of that type of shit in the basement. You see that shit a lot in the 80s. They should show that shit all the time. Okay. Don't mean that's the only time it happened, and damn sure don't mean that's when it stopped. Obviously. But I used to love to watch that shit. I see why. It's just weird, and it's just surreal for me. Okay. Maybe not for some others, but for me it is. Okay. Your motherfuckers spiritual eyes gouged the fuck out. I mean, and for what? And those who probably were not uh included but just had to be included. You know how some people, they get made fun of, and they get dogged out, and they be the what you call it, the black sheep and all of that type of thing, but they just have to be, they want to be included so bad. They want to be included so bad. Like you with your big ass, you've come a few times, motherfucker. I've just never talked about your motherfucking ass yet. But the need for you to be included. Ask somebody now. Okay, these courting doesn't have to talk about romance and love, but here there are many different types of relationship as well as unspoken contracts. Here, this is what we're talking about. Unspoken contracts that y'all made with God knows with with one another, and God knows what spirit or entity you motherfuckers owe. Okay. You put yourself in that fucking situation. Okay. I'm not really sure here, Father Sims. Okay. I don't know, balance. Okay. Looking at the situation more from a black and white position, maybe. Okay. What will be gained by compromising here? Okay, here we go. Okay. Were you all being fair? Absolutely fucking not. Absolutely not. Sometimes less is more. Okay, not for greedy motherfuckers. Okay, whatever the fuck it is that you were going after. Okay. Extremists never think they're extreme. Of course you don't. You just keep picking and picking and poking and prodding and siphoning and bothering and harassing and stalking. Okay. Trying to obtain something and get something. Okay. And I'm going to say illegally. And I mean spiritually so, as well as, naturally so as well. Okay, y'all know what I mean by that. Okay, but yet peace is priceless. You motherfuckers need to focus on healing and recovery. Yeah, especially you, woman that raised me. You need to focus on healing and recovery. Healing your damn. Okay, or whatever. I don't know what your alliance was with. Okay. I mean, it's just like just this little piece of land on a little piece of street, in the hood in the city. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot more to this. Okay, I'm doing the best I can with the reading right now. Okay, I'm a little sleepy. Right, but nevertheless, okay. Receiving a critical message. Eye-opening experiences, being in alignment End of delays, okay, but definitely I feel like receiving a critical message here, okay, that whatever y'all was trying to do, okay, or you, ma'am, okay, some of y'all might have succeeded in doing some things, but you really didn't, because what did you get out of it? Okay, it don't look like too much of anything, okay, except lives lost, whether the people are actually living or dead. All right, but here we have heartbreak, yeah, definitely that. Definitely that. From not only, what you've done here for yourselves, what you've done to your children, the children, okay, we're no longer children. But probably for some of you motherfuckers, probably heartbreak because maybe you didn't get what you thought you was gonna get. I don't know. I mean, it couldn't have been worth it, but maybe, when you're a greedy motherfucker, I guess it is worth it. I don't know. You're greedy, $5 is worth it. Okay. You know that, puss. Okay. Emotional trauma. Damn sure betrayal here we have. Betrayal. Okay. Devastating loss. And there has been some devastating loss there. Loss that probably shouldn't have been lost. Probably should still be walking around to this day. Okay. Alienation, serious disrespect. That's what it says. Serious disrespect. And that's what that is. Okay, to do that to people. All right, neurosis, grieving, painful endings here. Okay, loneliness, sickness, negative self talk, exile, goodbyes, bad breakups, awful news. Okay, and unwelcome change. That's what you got. That's what you left over with here, okay? Son of coins, upright. Nine of knives, upright, okay? Mother of knives, upright. Son of baskets, upright, okay? It's cold in this house. Turn my heater on. Excuse me. I mean, I'm just gonna look at this and say that you had a fucking plan. You thought you all. I feel like you all thought you thought you had a plan. You thought you had it. It was clear. You thought your goals were clear and realistic, and that you know that your plan was going to fall into play. But all you fucking did was destroy yourselves and destroy others, not giving people an opportunity to live a full life, except those who you thought were worthy of it. And in reality, I'm not quite sure that they did. Because they walk around looking just as pitiful and pathetic. And they are. Okay. Just as poor and pitiful and pathetic. Them ones you put on the fucking pedestal that were no more deserving than anyone else. Oh, but they probably would do anything you fucking told them to do. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, ma'am. Long as I can be the one to shine. In this little itty bitty place that's supposed to be a safe haven for people to come and worship the Lord. and feel safe with one another. And the children feel safe. But obviously not, because they being drained fucking dry every time they walk in this bitch. I don't know, maybe this Mother Knives is this person who maybe spearheaded it. Maybe the person who started it. Okay. They were given some direct rules and to follow and regulate, some rules to follow, and that's exactly what the fuck they did. Okay. Okay. Thought that this was going, and yeah. You know, targets the children. Okay. But isn't that what it always is? Targeting those who are innocent, who can't fight for themselves, who don't really know what the hell's going on, who believe and trust those that are supposed to be, you know, their safety and security. Okay. All right, let's just keep on going. 5 of Knives, upright. 6 of Coins in reverse. All right, and 2 of Sticks, upright. This is what the fuck you need to do, but this is what's going to be done. Making amends, conflict resolve, vindication, okay? People who were subject to this, are victims of this, they're going to be vindicated. Okay? They're going to be vindicated here. Okay? Vengeance, what the Bible say? Vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord. Okay, some of that repay has already been happening, and it's going to continue to. Okay, these people are going to be vindicated here from your fucking treachery exposed. Here it is, right here. Righteous fury. Here it is, right here. And that's exactly what's going to happen to your motherfucking asses. Okay, all right. Okay, in the end of attacks. Okay, which is that's what that's going to bring on. Okay, I'm not confronting evil here, fighting back. Okay, I'm not quite sure. You know what the fuck you thought, or maybe perhaps you just didn't. I don't know. Okay, but that's what's going to happen. These young people who these things happen to are going to be vindicated. Against your treachery. Okay. And see this once again, this is all about money. This is all about money. Gold diggers here, gigolos, pimps. Okay. Gifts with strings attached, blackmail, con artists, big time. Okay. Show-offs here. But this was all about money, to get cut off financially. I don't know. I don't know how the shit works. And anybody who participated. Speaking your mind, okay? Being unafraid to go against the grain. You try to put people in a position where they were, afraid to go against the grain. Okay, that's why you put them little whatever, honey. Them pitiful women, girls, up there on fucking pedestals. Try to make others feel less than. always calling in names, always giving them this, always giving them that. And see, it wasn't always like that when I was small, but then it became that. Okay. And those young people would walk away feeling, unwanted, unappreciated. I'm glad I got the fuck up out of there. Okay. It's just pathetic. Just pathetic. And them two, they had nothing to offer no more than anybody else. Okay. Them bones, upright. Two of coins, upright. Okay. Ace of baskets, upright. Okay. And these people know who they are. They know what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't give a fuck if they watch it or not. They feel it in the spirit. Okay? Mm-hmm. The neutral position here is no longer an option. Okay. Where do you stand on the issue? Where do you stand on this? But I think it's clear on where you stand. Okay. Maybe a more in-depth reading here needs to is a matter of great, I'm sorry, a more in-depth reading is needed here, okay, to get a more obviously in-depth understanding of what this was. Okay. Because that shit was just too fucking weird. And you look back on it now. How do you do that? How do it's a little small team, little tiny little church, and you just have a few young people that you act like it's worth a damn when everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing as young people. Well, how are they any better? Okay. No wonder the church is empty than a motherfucker and everybody ran for their fucking life when they became of age. Who wants to stay around that? But those two and maybe their little minions or their little followers, okay, were willing to do whatever the fuck you said. Any of y'all who's a part of this shit or who started it for the attention. I mean, whatever. I don't know what the fuck you motherfuckers are going to do. I'm done with the damn reading. I don't even care, but I can tell you one motherfucking thing. You can keep bringing your asses over here if you motherfucking want to. And you're going to keep getting... I'm a little sleepy right now. Okay. But I'm going to keep reading your motherfucking ass just like Mustard Puss every time she send me that bullshit. Okay. No, I don't get it. I don't post it every single time. Because goddamn, if I did, I'd be on here. I'd be posting off 24 hours, 7 days a week. That bitch don't have no motherfucking sense. Okay. But you can. And that's what the fuck you gonna get. Things revealed. And it took one of them church members, okay, to kind of give me some insight as to the truth. A little bit. A while ago. Okay. Disgusting. But like I said, looking back on it, I mean, it makes sense. Who knows what evil shit y'all was doing? Somebody knows. And it wasn't just the young people either. It was anybody in that church who y'all felt like wasn't up to par. You know, maybe they was poor, didn't have much. Maybe they was a little shy, didn't speak up much, you know, like they're not worthy, like they don't have anything to offer. That's how I fucking saw it. Cause where they at? Like they have nothing, to give here to this collective. Just cast to the side. That's what the fuck it looked like. Maybe they wasn't good enough to be a part of your witchy poo, but I'm sure they somewhere, thanking God. Okay. But what the fuck ever. I'm sleepy. You all, I'm going to bed. Well, I'm not going to bed. I'm going to wait till, time for the New Year's thing. Okay. I got the black eyed peas cooking and shit. All right. So y'all have a wonderful, happy new year. All right. 2024, 2024. All right. All right. Y'all have favor.